Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about something very important to all of us, and that's tire sling. The stuff you put on your tires, it gets all over your car. Well, if you've been a part of the channel for over 2 years, you know that I use this stuff called Dura dressing, and I love it. And there's been a lot of comments on that video about it doesn't last long, blah, 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 blah. Well, tell you what, my old tire on the right here is what I put on over 2.5 years ago. I have not reapplied it. It has gone through thousands of miles and tens of car washes, probably 50 car washes. And every time you wash your car with this stuff, you can wash it just like your car with soap and water. And there is no dirt on here. Now, I just got new tires. Those of you brand new to the channel, welcome. If you have a muscle car, I just mini tubbed my GTO and I got 335s. Yeah, they're fat. I love them. These are 295s if you're wondering. But these guys here, I was running late to go to Hot August Nights 2024. I didn't have time to put this on, so I used the old school method of silicone spray before I left. And so after, right now, it has 1,000 miles on it and 3 car washes. And I'll show you the major difference. Now, before I get there, if I've ever helped you out, consider getting a hat. New shirts are out. All those links are below. Join the FastMonty Club. Proceeds go to help the channel grow, etc., etc. So speaking of the channel, sometimes I get sponsored, sometimes I don't. This is not a sponsored product. I found this on my own, and this is why I love it so much. Because my car is low. And when I have to put tire dressing on, I usually have to do that trick where you do 3/4 of the tire, roll the car 3 feet, do the other part of the tire. Super annoying, right? So this is a one-time applications. It lasts 2 years, at least 2.5 years. And I frankly probably could have done it about 6 months ago, but I think it looks great. Let me show you the close-up. All right, I have a ton of backup lighting going on here to try and show the difference between the sheens. This one, which like I said, has 3 car washes on it, it looks still more dull than this one that's been 2.5 years, plenty of car washes, and you can tell if you take a white paper towel, relatively clean. Now that's probably mostly dust or just road dirt. This guy here, there's a lot more dirt that's coming off, and that's mostly the silicone oil that I sprayed on. And that leads me to my first point. Besides the number 1 important step, which is reading the instructions, number 2 is cleaning. It's just like painting. It reminds me of paint, because if you have any kind of silicone on here, or if these are brand new tires, there's a release agent in the rubber to get it out of the mold. You have to kind of cut that layer before you can put this clear coat on. And that's what we need to do next, is we need to clean this surface thoroughly. Let's go do that. Okay, before we get started, if you get the kit, you're gonna have a step 2 cleaner. Remember, step 1 is read the directions like 18 times, and step 3 is the dressing. And like I mentioned, there's also an applicator, we're gonna use that later, and scrub brush, that's what we're gonna use now. Now you can do this, like I said, on the car, mounted on the car, like if you have a truck, or if you have full access to the tire. If you don't have full access, I highly recommend taking them off the car, just like I did. But if you're gonna do it on the car, something to keep in mind is this stuff will stain paint, it will stain raw aluminum, which is what this is. So you need to be careful where it ends up. If you're gonna do it on the car, you can spray it underneath the brush as you go along. That'll help keep down the overspray. But just pay attention, because if you get it on, say, your wheel lip or your painted surface of your wheel, take a wet rag and just wipe it off immediately so it doesn't dry on there. So the whole point is we're gonna scrub the tire until the suds of this mixture, because this mixture is actually yellow. My first time doing this video, I didn't know it was yellow, so I was waiting for it to turn white, which never happened. So I cleaned the tire like 6 times. Yeah, funny story. So This round, I will show you up close what it looks like the first application, and then I'll show you what it looks like on the last application. But most importantly, after you do one application, you let it sit for a minute, and then you rinse it off with water. You have to let it dry after you rinse it off. So if you have 4 tires to do 1 tire. By the time you're finished with the 4th tire, the first one should be dry enough to hit it again. I have a sun spot, so I'm going to put this wheel and tire in the sun after the first round to help it dry out. I'm also going to use my air nozzle and blow out the water in the seam, because I noticed the first time I did this, some got caught in there, and as I was driving it came out and made these streak marks, so I had to like quickly just touch it up. So here we go. Let me show you what it looks like. Round number 1. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it is looking brown. If you want to get everywhere you can, get a white rag and you can spot test. So that looks gross. You want to keep doing it until it's yellow. So after round 1, I noticed it etched my aluminum pretty quick. I was pretty fast to remove the residue, but it did etch it. I will have to polish it. So the other wheel, I decided to tape it. Alright, so I taped the edge. I will take the tape off immediately after the first round, just in case anything got underneath the tape. But also something to keep in mind, if you have little ridges in your design, make sure you take your brush and go with the ridges to get it inside those ridges. Let's see how my masking tape works. Oh yeah, way better than chasing with a rag. Okay, just to show you that I do learn as I work. Process improvement here, my terry cloth stuck underneath the masking tape. So now everything is covered, because I noticed a couple spots on the paint near the lip. So now it's 100% covered. Jeez. Oh yeah, shop stool totally helps. Woo! So the instructions ask you, is it yellow or brown, the suds? These look really yellowy white. Check it out. Yellow. We are done. This is the 4th application. Yes! Rinse it off, let it dry. You can even let it dry overnight, not a big deal. Let's go to the next step. So it's been almost 24 hours, and frankly it doesn't matter how long it's been. Just wipe the dust off, make sure you didn't get them dirty again, and wear gloves. I like to treat this like painting, so if we're putting a clear coat on, and I really don't know the facts behind this, but the oils on anything on your fingers, whatever you're touching, can apply through paint. So I'm going to treat this the same way, wearing gloves, and this stuff I don't think you want on your skin anyway. So we're going to go ahead and take our applicator, add some product, and we're just going to lightly go around and add it to our tire. And while you're going around, you're going to want to get in all the nooks and crannies, like in between the tread here. But as you go around, you'll notice like a buildup. So after you go around once, go around and spot check. See if there's any bubbles. Make sure you knock those down, because when this hardens, it's like clear coat. It will actually leave those bubbles showing. So I'll show you after this first go around what it looks like. So on your final pass, you might see buildup like this. You want to go lightly over it and try and knock those down. Spread it out some more. It's okay if you get down on the tread. Your natural wear pattern will wear off where it doesn't need to be, and it will look fantastic when you're done. So there we go, all smoothed out. Now you can go around and wipe your wheel off, because it's not going to dry super fast like the other stuff, and wait at least an hour to put a second coat on. And again, you don't have to wait an hour. You can wait till the next day to do the second coat or third coat. This is after one coat. I told you it's legit. I mean, this is dry. Look, it's awesome. Now you can see these streaks, which is okay. This is why you do a second coat. So I'm gonna do a second coat and see if we can alleviate some of that. Oh yes, it looks totally wet, doesn't it? It's super dry. Those streaks are gone. Oh my God, this looks amazing. This is 3 coats, by the way. And if you want to check for any spot to mist, put it in the sunlight and they'll, you know what? Let's go do that. Let's go put it in the sunlight. Oh my God, look at that. So this is where you check for anything you missed. You can always touch it up. But here's the old tire. I mean, the camera doesn't do it justice. It's still shiny after over 2 years. I mean, it looks really good. But holy crap, that's amazing. That means I gotta do my front tires to match the back tires. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, look at that. If you're not tucked, you're doing it wrong, my friends. That is a 335 on a GMA body. That is sick. The fronts now match the rears too. I did the fronts, and this is also after 200 miles of driving. And I had to have the tire remounted, so the tire had been removed and reinstalled, so that tire installation tool beat it up. And it still looks fantastic. So I highly recommend Dura dressing. Go check that out. But on more important news is next episode, because what's annoying me with brand new wheels is the rear barrel. I can see through the spokes. I can also see the weights, as you guys can probably see. I want that to be black to match this black. So next episode, we're gonna Cerakote that. So if you've never heard of Cerakote, it's a ceramic paint that has been developed mainly for weapons, handguns, rifles. You've probably seen custom camo paint jobs. Yeah, that's Cerakote. We're gonna put it on the back of the wheel in my garage at home. And we're also gonna do my GMA body skid plate for your oil pan. If you don't have one, get one. And my new radiator. So lots to come. Subscribe if you haven't. But until next time, build them fast, drive them faster. See ya.